Julia Chapman reporting.
You're listening to
Northern Public Radio
on 102.7
KCHW. Tooele.
Good morning. It's KCHW 102.7 live on a Wednesday. It's Scott and Mike Bentz. Thanks so much for being here, Mike.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good. You're looking good from home today?
Hey, I've been losing weight. Can you tell?
No, I can't because it's just your headshot and it still looks really big.
Okay. Yeah, but I got my new cheaters on, so I'm very cerebral looking.
Yeah, you are. You know.
Either that or theatrical, one of the two.
Did you steal Drew Carey's glasses?
Did I steal?
All right, you're gonna have to check us out on Facebook to get that joke.
Yeah. I know. I never even thought about that.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah, the price is right, baby. All right. Let's see. Question on everybody's mind: did you dress up for Halloween, and if so, what were you?
The answer is no.
Oh, man.
You know, I'm not a big Halloween person, actually.
So if you were forced to dress up for Halloween, what would you have dressed up as?
I was thinking about that. There was at Boo Fest, there was a Sasquatch running around town.
Oh, how cool is that?
And I don't know who this guy was, but he had to be like 6'8".
Wow.
I mean, it was huge.
It's intimidating.
And I'm thinking I'd make a good Sasquatch.
Yes, you would. You're tall enough.
Yeah, tall enough and bulky enough, and you know.
All right.
But yeah, I was thinking that would probably be the preferred custom. The last time I dressed up for Halloween, I dressed up as a mummy.
Oh. All right.
You know, that was a long time ago. You know, took old sheets and actually, you know, had somebody wind them around me and the whole bit. And,
I did the same thing, but the Invisible Man with the fedora.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like to tell this story because so I was working in a nightclub at the time, right? And DJing, and the night that I wrapped myself and did the Invisible Man so you couldn't see me, I got hit on more that night than any other night.
So what'd you do? Is it like a green screen thing?
Oh no, I was DJing in a nightclub.
Oh,
okay. So and the DJ always gets flirted with when you're DJing in a nightclub. It's kind of the
Right.
bonus for working there, I guess. But the night
Right.
that I covered my face with all the wrappings, as you were saying, I got hit on more that night than any other. So I was like, wow, I should definitely go around with my face covered.
Covered, yeah. The mysterious man.
Yeah, I guess, it never works so well with the face showing, but apparently if I cover it, it works a lot better.
Maybe that was a hint.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, my heart's broken. Yeah, I don't dress up for Halloween. I just walk outside and they go, oh, look at the troll. All right.
I was thinking Munchkin, but you know,
same thing.
Leprechaun.
Oompa loompa diddly doo. I've got. Okay. All right. 45 and 27 for your high and low today in Tooele. You got cloudy skies and a 25% chance of rain today. Down to 27 tonight, and still a 25% chance of precipitation, which means you could have some snow flurries in the morning, especially
That's
if you
true.
live up on one of our local mountains. And then Thursday, 43 and 34, mostly cloudy skies, just a 10% chance of rain. Rain-snow mix for Friday, 44 and 36, with a 90% chance of a rain-snow mix. On Saturday, 44 and 26, under mostly sunny skies, and just a 10% chance of precip. Then back to the rain-snow mix for Sunday, 39 and 25. Man, how you guys have changed. Get this on Monday. Definite snow showers at 50% with a daytime high of just 29 degrees. 21 for an overnight low. You ain't going nowhere.
You know, I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they said, "Well, if you enjoyed our 2 days of fall,
How could you guys
this,
go? I mean, literally, you went from 80 degrees to 29 degrees in a period of like 2.5 weeks.
oh
Th-
yeah,
That
yeah,
that's that's crazy. That's a
yeah,
shock to the system.
oh yeah." And you know what's really kind of different or weird is I went downtown yesterday, and the park, all the trees still have their leaves on them.
Somebody
So
forgot
you
to
know what's
tell
going
them.
to happen is we're going to have this snowstorm come in with high winds, and they're going to have all this heavy wet snow because that's what it'll be this time of the year, and we're going to have nature doing some logging.
Could
So
be, could be. Got a lot of extra weight
yeah,
that those leaves can
yeah,
catch for snow and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, I know just around the house. I mean, I've the trees that normally have lost their leaves by now still have leaves on them. I mean, so it's different. I don't know if that's a climate change thing and things are cycling, because we had 70-degree temperatures up until I think like the 20th of October,
Yeah.
somewhere in there, and it just, I mean, you love it because it's nice, but it also kind of messes with your world.
Yeah,
So
I mean, literally, you had no fall, which
no,
which is kind of typical, I guess, for that area of Eastern Washington, anyways, is to have a very short fall and the longest spring ever.
right?
I mean, that's the longest season I think in Chihuahua is spring. It's like, will summer ever get here? Because some years you can start spring by the end of February, and it never really gets warm till July.
Yeah. Well,
It
this
is.
year
It's
the rains didn't go away until about the middle of June.
yeah.
I mean, just I know from a golf course perspective, we start having more golfers in May, and the weather just wasn't playing nice until about the second week in June.
Not playing nice.
Yeah, exactly.
All
Mother
right.
Nature, I want you to play nice.
I got just a few news headlines to discuss, and then we'll be off and running on our non-profit update.
Okay.
Let's start off with something local from the city of Chihuahua and our mayor. I got a press release. It was in the mailbox this morning, and of course, people know that our chief of police has been let go, and a notification here on another officer that is under investigation, James Glover. As of Monday, 10/24, Officer Jim Glover's administrative leave status was changed to administrative leave without pay. Washington State Patrol is conducting a criminal justice training center required investigation into the allegations related to Officer Glover's conduct. Unfortunately, and I'll just tell you up front, in this press release, we don't get any information to what that conduct was, which I find disappointing, and as well as the release of our police chief, Ryan Pankey. We just hear that there's allegations. We don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And
Well, and that really can't happen until it's over. I
sure,
mean, it's
sure.
all kinds of legal repercussions. So
I am worried though. Before we it wasn't due to lost a police chief before, and everybody in town, and this wasn't due to allegations or anything. That was his choice to quit, but the public never found out why. And I know it was a big thing in town. I remember Jared coming to me and asking me if I'd heard anything, and I'm like, really? If you're asking me, I get my news from you. So
we need a better Clark Kent.
yes, yes. Hopefully we will find out. I don't know. I guess it's not the end of the world, but I know local people want to know what happened.
Yeah.
In the second part of this press release, it says, following the official posting for positions, receipt of applications, rigorous written, oral, and physical testing, they have received, here's a couple people have received ranked eligibility list from the Civil Service Commission. Conditional offers have been extended to both Cade Middlesworth and Andrea Smith to join the Chihuahua Police Department. Andrea brings to the city 6 years of active military duty as a military police and subsequent years serving alongside the military in a public affairs capacity. So she's got some pretty good skills there.
Right,
She's earned her
yeah.
bachelor's degree in psychology and is currently pursuing her master's degree. Cade Middlesworth comes from a family in law enforcement and is currently employed as a corrections officer by Stevens County Sheriff's Office jail. Upon successful passage of background and polygraph and psychological tests, Andrea and Cade will begin work for the city on November 14th and spend the balance of this year accompanying our current commissioned officers on patrol as they begin their field phase of training. First available police academy school starts in January. Following their successful completion and graduation from the academy and completion of their field training for approximately 1 month, both Cade and Andrea will be fully commissioned officers for the Chewelah Police Department. So that's coming out of the city. All right, is that something you knew?
No, I didn't actually.
Right,
I haven't seen that. That must be hot off the press.
Hot off the press in my mailbox this morning. So thank you, Laura, for sending that out.
Well, I know that's kind of been a point of concern is, are you going to be able to bring somebody on board? Because hiring in all fields is pretty tough.
It is tough. In fact, that's one of our...
I can't imagine law enforcement in today's world. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day who was a retired law enforcement person, and they said, I'd never want to go into it in today's world. I mean, so hats off to those people and thank you, by the way, for those people that take that on as a career.
It's a scary place. And then you've got this backlash against police, too, out there.
Oh, yeah.
And wow. You would have to be one brave person. And, there's just I guess the great thing is there's some people out there that just have a commitment to helping others.
Right.
And, really thank God those people exist, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right.
I got to tell you
kind
of a funny story. The other day I was driving and I get a phone call, and I won't say from who, but this person says, "Okay, Mike," because they knew me. I said, as you know, I'm retired law enforcement, and it's a good thing I'm retired because I'm cranky this morning and you've got a tail light out.
Ooh. So he's like directly behind you. That's spooky.
Yeah, exactly. And he goes, then he says, you're just the type of person a cranky person would pull over. He was just,
giving you a ticket no matter what.
Time.
Wow.
Exactly. But, how would you ever know you got a tail light?
That's true. That's true.
How often do you get up and walk around your vehicle to see if all the lights are working?
Exactly. Not very often. So
not very often, exactly. So anyway, but he was just fun, having fun with me, of course.
On the same note, though, I don't think I've ever gotten a taillight out ticket. I've always, been lucky that I didn't have a cranky officer and that they were like, "Hey, you got a taillight out."
Right. Yeah. So. Yeah. I don't think you'd ever get a ticket. I think it's more of if you get pulled over and there's something else going on that's a problem.
Yeah.
So,
could be.
Exactly.
Although I'm sure there's people out there who have gotten a ticket for a taillight and went, "Oh, yeah." All right. I appreciate the people like you're pulling into a store parking lot and you park, and the person that pulled in behind you will, that's usually how I found out is somebody in a parking lot to go, "Hey, I was behind you. You got a taillight out." And you're like, "Thank you. I don't want to get pulled over." Because even if you're not doing anything wrong, getting pulled over it can raise your heartbeat and cause a heart attack.
Right. Yeah.
All those flashing lights. All right. A couple national stories. Saudi Arabia has shared intelligence with American officials that suggests Iran could be preparing for an imminent attack on the Saudi Arabia, as they call it, kingdom. That's according to U.S. officials yesterday. The heightened concerns about a potential attack on Saudi Arabia come as the Biden administration is criticizing Tehran for its crackdown on widespread protests and condemning it for sending hundreds of drones as well as technical support to Russia to use in the war in Ukraine. And, we just went through this thing with Saudi Arabia where Biden went over there and asked them to lower gas prices. So my suggestion, if Saudi Arabia, I don't know what they're scared of. We've been arming them to the teeth for decades. Why don't we just go over and give them a little fist bump and say, until you lower oil prices, you're on your own. That's what I think. I think that'd be fair, but just give them a fist bump and go, "Sorry." But we do have this fist bump for you.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah. And what you were saying, Americans still quitting fast enough to keep the Fed on an aggressive path. They're expected to raise interest rates again. The housing market already down, they said yesterday, 55%. And now
Right.
they're going to raise it again. And it says Americans are still quitting at near record levels, according to new data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Overall quit rates, the percentage of employed population that quit within a month was 2.7% in September, the same as it was 2 months earlier. The quit rates for the private sector alone slowed down a hair, though, from 3 to 2.9%. They say these rates show both how many opportunities workers are seeing at other firms and how confident they feel about leaving their current job. Those workers are then rewarded for switching jobs. So here's why
Right.
people are doing it, because it's all about the money, baby. Their wages when you quit your job and hunt for a new one, especially if you've been in this position for a long time. Maybe you haven't gotten the raises you like or something, so you're looking somewhere else. You can expect, by switching jobs, a 7.1% increase in your salary. That's kind of a vague across the board thing. So 7.1% on an annual basis, that is. And they say that's higher than the 5.2% raise that people that are staying in their jobs can get during this troubled times.
Right. Yeah. No, I think we just need to brace ourselves with overall costs. They're going to go up. I mean, when you got inflation in the neighborhood of 8% and those costs are going to kind of rocket through the system in higher prices. I mean, the positive is people are getting paid a little bit more. The negative is that money's just going to go in one pocket, not the other, basically.
Because inflation is showing no signs of stopping. We're going to have more. We've got a diesel shortage. We've got oil reserves that are down in this country. It's not going away for a while, and expect those gas prices of things keep going up to keep going up. It's going to be a tough winter.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's kind of one of those things where savings rates are starting to drop from what I've read, but there's still a lot of cash on the sidelines. People
still shopping. We're still shopping like crazy.
Still shopping. Yeah. That's really kind of the odd thing right now is people still are employed. And as you pointed out, they can stay employed if they want to stay employed without any problem in most areas of the country. And they're still, because they have the savings, they're still able to maintain the shopping, although the amount of savings is starting to drop. I was thinking about that the other day. It just, this is as crazy as this is. I went in and Loretta asked me to pick up a bag of chips for a meal she was making. And I don't normally watch prices of stuff, and I'm going $3.99 for a bag of chips.
You bought the cheap ones.
When did
then.
this happen?
Yeah, you bought the cheap one. You bought the cheap chips then. If you paid $3.99.
I did, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's. It's not really a whole lot different than it was in the early '80s, and so you got a whole generation, or almost two generations, of people that haven't experienced high inflation and high interest rates and a slowdown in the economy. And it's not necessarily bad in my mind, because it's like a cleansing process. It gets rid of the excess in the economy. You just have to be really, I guess, smart about what you do, as far as that goes. But
now, would you think the problem would be right now for the economy is if people stop shopping? Because I would see if people stop shopping, then the next turn of that is going to be people losing their jobs.
It will be,
and
because,
now we're in a full-fledged recession, right?
Yeah, because the U.S. economy especially is driven by the consumer. It's been pretty consistent for years that 62% of the economy is driven by you and me, the consumer. And if that slows down, then there's a ripple effect, of course. And then the other thing I'm more concerned about is there's still supply chain issues. And until those get straightened out, it's not supply chain issues with lack of inventory. It's supply chain issues of getting the inventory to where it needs to be. And those are bubbles. And so it takes a while to get through the system. You can't automatically just add more trains or more trucks or whatever, to get it from point A to point B. And that's where I think people are becoming more sensitive to that. They see that, and that just takes pre-planning. So you just, tomorrow you just don't say, I want this, because it may take a while to get it. I was thinking about that the other day on something that I needed at the house, and and a year ago or 2 years ago, I could have found it and ordered it to be here in 2 days, and now they're telling me 10 days to 2 weeks. And it's not that they don't have it; it's just getting it there.
Sure.
And that's not a problem with our transportation system. That's a problem with the bubbles. And it'll take a while to get that out. But on the other hand, some of the positives is used car prices are starting to come down. The new car prices are starting to, soften a little bit. The big issue I see right now is probably energy and food costs because they're so interrelated.
And that's what I was kind of saying about being a tough winter between fuel, energy,
right,
and definitely our food.
Exactly.
And then add back into it another round of new COVID story out today. And I know we nobody wants to hear about it, and we've put it in the back of our mind, but it is still there, and the powers that be are saying, get ready. We're going to have a new and different wave of it. They said that when it comes to COVID, New York is experiencing a wave of highly transmissible immune-evasive BQ infections. This is the new strain. And it's the epicenter of a national wave. So, also in California, 15% of cases in California now are this new strain, according to data coming in. And what they're saying is it's on the East Coast and it's on the West Coast, and it's going to converge and go, fill up the nation again,
Sure.
Like it has in other rounds.
Yeah, and I was talking to my doctor the other day, and basically the COVID or the variations of COVID is really going to be treated like the flu on an annual basis. And it's just one of those things you'll either personally make a decision to take care of it or not. And that's okay. Everybody has the right to do that. But, I was thinking about that the other day, that, the vaccination, for whatever reason, has been politicized. And I think that's a lot of the issue right now. And then the other thing is because of all the things that happened during COVID, the shutdown, the lack of people getting together, and the natural immunity that happens when you catch something, that all went away for about 18 months because of all of the isolation that was happening.
Yes.
So that's going to come back through the system as people, mingle more and things like that. I see that even in Chihuahua, where group events have got a lot of people attending them.
Yep.
And 2 years ago that didn't happen, and so it's just gonna, it's kind of like I've told one of my kids once, suck it up and live through it.
Well, I've got a couple friends recently that came down with colds, and I said, "Is it COVID?" And they said no. And a year ago, if anybody got sick, because we were still in that isolation, right, if anybody got sick, it was always COVID. But people are actually going, no, I've actually got the regular flu. Yay.
Yeah. It's just a whole different mindset in today's world. And I don't think you can be apathetic about it. I think you need to be proactive about it, however you do it, whether you isolate yourself, whether you do it through some kind of vitamins or rest, or whether you do it through vaccinations. You just need to do something. And that's a personal choice, and I think everybody needs to recognize that as a personal choice. And if you see things like, I saw an ad the other day, somebody was looking for a nanny here in Chihuahua, and one of the requirements is you had to be vaccinated. Well, that's their choice, just like it'd be your choice not to be vaccinated. And so don't beat them up. That type of thing.
Oh, I'm sure people went after him on Facebook.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'd put money on it. Yeah. But, I was thinking about that in the election. The problem with the election, I was thinking about last night, is all these dang ads are coming in. Our phone rings about every 5 minutes with somebody, vote for this person or that person. Wouldn't it be nice for the week before the election, all ads ceased and you actually had to search out information?
Wouldn't it be nice, though? That would be nice.
All polls. See, I think one of the dangers on the elections right now is the constant polling.
Yes.
Because there are people that'll say in a race, well, I'm not going to vote because it doesn't count anyway because it's spread on the poll, things like that. And I was watching a newscast last night, and they were talking about, I don't know, some of these, the races for the Senate seats in a variety of different states. And they start doing these probability models. Well, if this person goes here and this person wins here, this is what it's going to look like. Well, that's all BS.
It's fake news. That's right.
It's
And
fake
anybody
news.
can
It
say
really
anything.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you really understand the idea behind probability models, which in itself is not an easy concept to understand.
Well, it's just
then,
like Trump wasn't polled to win when he won.
Yeah.
He wasn't. Everybody was in shock that he won, and since then, our whole political system has been put under an unnecessary spotlight and torn apart with fake news, and they're still doing it. And Republicans, I'm watching on the news, are still talking about it as part of their speeches to get elected. And some of them are even saying that if they lose, they're not going to accept their election results.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like,
yeah, I love that.
oh, man.
It just, so we created our own monster, and hopefully it'll, the biggest thing I tell people is just vote. I mean, regardless of who you vote for, what you vote for, the power in getting something done is just taking the activity. You get the voting done.
Well, and all this fake news about the voting system the vote being stolen, all that fake news is done has put doubts in people and actually making it come true because people are scared somebody else is going to steal it. They're more willing, I think, to do something illegal with our voting process. We've created our own monster by letting those rumors spread. Yeah. All right.
Exactly.
Well, enough of that one.
Anyway, we can talk about that for the next hour, and it's almost 8:00.
Yeah. So more COVID coming. We'll close out with that one. I like this one. This is a science story I grabbed today. It's every morning I just try to pick a few different ones. This company is called Evolito, and they have invented, and I love this because it sounds like Back to the Future, an axial flux electric motor. Doesn't that sound cool? Axial flux.
Kind of like a flux capacitor.
Yes, exactly. They say it's lighter than Tesla's motor, and it's ramping up. They have sold part of their company to Mercedes-Benz, is acquiring this new engine that's lighter, faster, and 3 times as powerful, supposedly as a Tesla engine. And then the company branched off, and they have, as they describe it, an ultra-high performance, low-weight engine that will be for the future of aircraft.
Really?
Yes. So kind of like some exciting science.
So I know I've been reading things about where the prototypes on all electric aircraft is really coming along pretty well.
Yeah. That's going to happen too. And and that's a good thing because people were complaining about, well, what difference is an electric car going to make when an airplane uses as much fuel as you use in a year just to take off?
Yeah.
So there's your answer. They're going to do electric airplanes too.
Right.
I don't know if that's they'll drop out of the sky easier. Who knows?
Maybe they'll plug into a cloud.
Another fun story this morning was Russians in Ukraine that are untrained and being bombarded have switched to a new thing. They're playing possum and pretending to be dead to save their lives. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And also, I'm going to take this as good news because all this talk about Nazis, I think these guys were the real Nazis. Judge has barred that Arizona group from harassing and photographing voters and carrying guns near drop boxes. Now they have to be back like 250 feet. So, I mean, see, that's the problem. There's problems with the voting system. So we're going to stand there and intimidate anybody we think is voting to the left. Or anybody that's putting more than one. It's not illegal to put 3 ballots in a box. You could be delivering from your mom, somebody in a wheelchair. It was craziness. And the first time, that it got thrown out, I was very upset because you shouldn't be allowed to harass people voting, period.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. That is the end of the news stories that I grabbed this morning. Let's go and turn our heads to the local side with Mike Bance. Where are you going to start today, Mike?
Well, we'll start with what's happening today. How's that sound?
That sounds good. It is.
Okay.
This is the beginning of another great run of weekend events, right?
Oh, it is, man. Pawani from the chamber sends out a weekly calendar now to the chamber members, and it by no means has everything on it by any means. So, but I'm looking down through this thing, and up to Thanksgiving and the early part of December, you got a lot to do.
All right.
I mean, that's really, you kind of pick your poison, I guess. But starting today, this evening at the Courtside Brewery, the Artist Talk is featuring Keith Powell. And Keith Powell is one of the artists, along with David Goverdeer, that did the Mammoth mural across from Safeway there on the CenturyLink building. And I've met Keith a couple of different times. And if you've got the ability to be there, I would be there. He's a great guy to listen to. He's been an artist for years and years and years. And listen to the story behind it. And I'm not going to, spoil it, as far as that goes. But I think a lot of people, they see that mural and then they wonder, why is it there? Why is the mammoths there? Why are the natives there? And things like that. And Keith's going to talk about that tonight, and you'll be able to ask questions.
You can get
you got to be there
tease
about
of
6
it too.
o'clock.
You can get a little tease. You can get a little tease of it too on Facebook from our interview with him last week. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it's on YouTube too, right?
Yep.
And so he's very well spoken and very methodical when you talk to him. So, yeah, I mean, as you know, I hobble around quite a bit, but we're going to definitely see if we can make it there. And I think it's going to be standing room only. So,
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will be, because it's been well advertised, and between the mural being completed here a couple of weeks ago, and I really would like to give a shout out to a couple of people that Kevin Weston Window Cleaning did all the cleaning on it and got it prepped. In that mural, as you know, has got to be 60 feet long and 20 feet tall. It's not any small task. And of course, Keith and Forrest over there did the touch-ups on it, and then Brad Schaefer from Waits Lake Rustic did all the sealing on it. So and if you haven't been by there lately, you'll see how the colors popped between the highlighting and the work that Keith and Forrest did on bringing it kind of back to life, because it's been there since 1999. And then with the ceiling, that just kind of mutes that, so it looks pretty cool. So with luck, next year, the Creative District will be able to secure some funding, so all the lighting will be changed, so it doesn't have that big fluorescent light hanging over top of it.
Nice.
That type of thing.
That'll help.
And then, of course, tomorrow we have First Thursday Art Walk. It's the typical, I won't say typical, it's the famous, for all, you've got the Trails in Gallery, the Spotlight Gallery, the Yale Press, and the McCunn Gallery all participating. They all have fairly new artists, being displayed. I know Trails in Gallery has got a couple of glass work type pieces in there from some artists, which are really pretty cool. And then there's going to be Forrest Goverdeer is going to do a special event.
Okay, I was going to say, don't spoil it like you did last week.
Yeah, I know.
It's supposed to be a secret.
And I did read something where it's going to be at 3rd and Main, so now there's a location for that.
There is, and he's going to show up around 5:30, and his dad loved blues music, so he is going to be playing some blues music there, and then at 6 o'clock he's going to unveil a lost piece of artwork from his dad. So very exciting.
Dad, yeah. So I really fully expect it's really going to be a great evening in Chewelah. I know that people always say, well, nothing's going on in the evening in Chewelah, and this is really the restaurants, everything, they're all open. The galleries are open, so it's a good time to be downtown. And frankly, it's one of the things that I'm working with another group on trying to revitalize downtown as far as the entertainment type stuff, and see if we can get some more things happening in the evening. And it's a good barometer for that. Because it's not a small decision when a business decides to stay open later than normal. And so it'd be nice to see a great turnout. And before I go on, I really want to thank all the people for Boo Fest. It was another phenomenal event. I haven't, it's awful hard to count the number of people that attend, because it kind of comes and go. But I do know the Creative District gave out over 900 pieces of candy.
Wow. That's
and
like
plus
the biggest
somebody
number
gave
I've
them some.
heard. That's the biggest number I've heard for candy. Wow.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff on the Chamber Facebook page, the Creative District Facebook page. As far as the costumes are concerned, people really went far out on this. I mean, there was some really cool stuff. I talked about the Sasquatch earlier, but some Star Wars things and, some Munchkin things. I'm just go on either the Chamber or the Creative District website or Facebook pages. And it was just a really, really great event. And only for a 2-hour window, if you think about it. I mean, it starts about 3:30 in the afternoon, and then it's over by 6 o'clock. And we have a meeting tomorrow morning to kind of go what worked, what didn't work, and what are we going to improve, what are we going to do different next year type thing. So I'll definitely have more information coming out of that. But and a new group put it together. I mean, it's sponsored by the Chamber, but Michelle Williams was one of the team leads on that. Melissa Ellerdings, Brandon Hansen, Don Olson. Me. I mean, you start naming names, you're going to miss somebody. Brandon Hansen. So it was kind of a brand new team that took that on. So because of that, it had a little bit different flavor than having people like me trying to do it. I mean, right down to Don Olson took sidewalk paint and painted the sidewalks to make sure people didn't miss any of the events. There were the people that were off, like KCHW had the photo opportunity there. And I don't know if you've seen any of that stuff Michelle did. But
I did. She sent me, she took a little video of it and sent it to me, and it was awesome. Yeah, very good. If you didn't stop by and take the photo op at the radio station, you missed out. And she said some people were coming in that had never been to one of our little concerts or anything like that, or been into the station, and they were going, "Wow, it's super nice in here." And we do. We have a very nice radio station and theater that you can rent.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, we've been holding some of our meetings there, and so if you're looking for a small venue meeting room, it's a great opportunity. We've
got a pull down theater screen. We've got a very, very large plasma TV, very large. I think it's like 65-inch or whatever. And then all of the theater chairs in the studio have flip-up tabletops. So if you want to do a seminar or something like where people are going to have to take notes, or maybe even have where you're taking a break and have snacks, and I will go out on a limb. We got these from the Center for the Arts because they were unable to use them because of the style. But I will go out on a limb and say that they are currently the newest and most comfortable chairs in Chewelah.
I don't think you're too far out on the limb on that one.
Yeah, they are, because they are brand. I mean, they've been hiding in warehouses and attics for about 15 years, but they were never used, and they were covered, so they're in excellent condition. They are brand new, and they are comfy. So
exactly. And they need to get a hold of Michelle if they want to reserve that.
Yes,
so
and she's listening. She just popped on and chimed in on Facebook this morning and said, "Good morning, guys." So good morning, Michelle. And then Marion's with us stuff too, and she's made a few comments, but the one I like, she's like, "Electric airplanes?" ? So yes,
yeah, they're coming.
They're coming.
Yeah, they've some of the prototypes are larger planes. I mean, they're not like jets, but commuter type aircraft.
But they're gonna be doing bigger ones too. It's coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I got a whole list of stuff.
All right, let's keep moving then.
Cooking here. So, and Friday night, the marvelous Wonderettes are at the Chewelah Center for the Arts. Actually, Loretta and I are going to go Friday night. I've heard nothing but marvelous things about the Wonderettes. And they've got 2 performances left. One is this coming Friday, and the other one is Saturday evening.
7:00.
And so
Tickets
at
$20.
7:00. And what I discovered is if you go online to get the tickets, it may say that they're not available, but that doesn't mean they're not available because Valley Drug, Acres have tickets that are available, and you can stop by and get them at the door. So I guess they must just have a certain number that they do on the online site.
Yeah, they got.
So, but yeah, I was talking to somebody this weekend that went to it, and they said, "Man, this is a show you do not want to miss. You'll laugh the entire 2 hours."
Good.
So, and in today's world, the more laughter you can get, the better it is, right?
Yes, totally.
Okay. All right. Then on November 5th, the Colville Valley Animal Shelter has their shot clinic. I think it's their last one of the year. And so from 10 to 12 up in Colville, the Tribal Artisan Day. This is another unique event. It's held out at the casino, and it will be on Saturday from 11 to 3 to really review some of the Native American art that's available in the area. And I think this is the second or third year they've done that. And there again, that's another one that we're definitely going to go out and visit because some of that stuff is, from my perspective, is just beautiful, not to mention some of the historical referencing that goes on along with it. We have the free community Thanksgiving dinner coming up at St. Mary's Church on the 10th. We've got the Artisan Community Gathering and Art Talk coming up on the 17th. On the 19th, this is a big deal. We're looking for volunteers to deck the town of Chewelah, and you can actually get a hold of the chamber, and they can give you the directions to that. Or if you've got your pencil out, we're going to meet at 9:00 at Mountain View Community Park at 212 North Baker Street to get that taken care of.
Okay.
And, there was something the other day I read where somebody was looking for volunteers, and they made the comment that many hands make the work go really quick. That is so true.
Mm-hmm.
And this is noted as a volunteer community. And I know I talked to some of the newer residents, and they say, well, we'd like to volunteer, but we don't know where to get started. Well, get started by going to the chamber website, going to the Creative District website, go to the Chewelah Center for the Arts website, or go to your community church. I mean, there's all kinds of areas where you can kind of plug in. And it's a great way to get exposed to the community, by the way, too. Phenomenal way to get exposed to the community. And then we got 26th of November. It'll be Small Business Saturday. You will start promoting that next week. It's something that's been going on. I think this is like the 25th year on a national basis. It's sponsored by American Express on a national standpoint. It's really designed to support and recognize the small businesses that really make America work. And so you'll see some information on that coming out in the Independent. You'll see that being on the Chamber website. You'll see that on the Facebook page. And it's not so much what is the special of the day. That's kind of that's given to each business. It's a recognition of the business and getting you to shop local. And I made the comment last week, and I want to make it again, that when's the last time an e-commerce or a big box store sponsored one of your child's activities?
Totally.
Wow. I was thinking about that just on the golf course perspective. They're about finishing up the budget for this coming year. And as normal, 60% of that entire budget is set up for wages. And those wages are all spent locally. They're all people that live local, so that money kind of rolls itself back through the economy. So, and that's really what you want. That's what makes it grow. And then on the 3rd of December, the 8th, or I think it's the 8th annual City Sidewalks events going on. And not only is the Chamber City Sidewalks doing what they do, but this year it's going to be joined by the Farmers Market. They're doing a Christmas fair on 3rd Street between the Huff Cultural Center and the Senior Center. And it'll be a tent where it'll be under the big top. So you'll have all kinds of vendors. They're going to have music. They're going to have foodies available, things like that. And then the Creative District is taking over the entire building for the Cultural Center and doing Chewville. It's take on the Grinch, basically, is what it is. And I've seen some of this stuff. I'm not involved in it, but I've seen some of this stuff, and it's pretty cute. to say the least. They got all kinds of things planned. And before I forget it, one of the coolest things on Boo Fest that happened was the Stevens Valley Stompers. They literally shut down Main Street for about 5 minutes, and these dancers went out, took over Main Street, and did Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Oh, how cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it was recorded, so you can pick that up on the Creative District website for sure if you want to go in and look at it. This is somebody I was talking to the other day, says, "Were you in that?" And I go, "Well, no." "Well, there was this old fat guy in there. It was doing pretty cool."
Ouch. Ouch.
So, but it is. It's about 3.5, 4 minutes long. And here you got these dancers out there all dressed up doing the old Thriller.
That's cool.
Thriller moves.
That's cool. Hey, real quick,
see.
let's throw out a legal ID. You're listening to KCHW Chihuahua. All right.
Okay, that's right. We're running over here.
Yeah.
And I'm not even close to being done yet.
Well, you just keep going.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. Let it be, let it be.
The Beatles?
What's that from?
It's the Beatles?
No.
Great song from the Beatles?
It's Frozen.
Frozen. Okay.
Frozen. The Chihuahua Center for the Arts is doing their Frozen production on the December 9th through the 11th, so look forward to that. And then I was thinking about you. They're looking for auditions for actors.
Okay.
And they're looking for it. The part players are looking for a play called Love, Lies, and Doctor's Dilemma. And I was thinking, boy, Scott would fit in there really pretty good.
In what
I
part?
mean, fit all three of those: Love, Lies, and the Doctor's Dilemma. So the auditions are happening on that on November 7th and 8th. And so before I get to the Rusty Putter stuff, I mean, is that enough, Scott?
That's a lot of stuff, Mike.
And I haven't even started listing the stuff that's happening in the community for the month of December, really, to speak of.
Okay.
I mean, so when people say there's nothing to do in Chihuahua, I've said this several times, you're living under a rock.
That's right. You just got to look.
You got to look. Listen to KCHW. Look at The Independent. Look at these various organizations' websites. They all have websites where they talk and they promote these various events. So. And then just real quick on the Rusty Putter, to remind everybody, we're on our off-season hours, so that's Friday and Saturday from 8 in the morning until 7 in the evening, Sunday from 8 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, and breakfast is served all day on Sunday. We're still booking holiday parties, and I call them holiday parties because some start before Christmas, and some of the companies are starting to look at doing after Christmas type things because there's so many things going on during the Christmas area. So yeah, you need to get a hold of them at rustyputter@chihuahuagolf.com through an email, or just call 509-935-6807 extension 4 and leave a voicemail, and the best time to get back to you. And they'll get back to you. And they're also this year they're looking at if you want to do one during the week, you can talk to Sean or Brittany and see if we can figure out how to get that done. And if you're doing during the week, then they're offering some discounts because the weekends themselves are really starting to fill up. And then some people have already asked, and the answer is yes. The golf course will be open for cross-country skiing. It'll be a marked course, and of course, once we get snow, and it sounds like we're going to start getting snow here, like
You are.
just a couple of days. Yeah.
You are definitely getting some snow.
Exactly. So I think, is that enough?
That's a lot. I don't know if it's enough, but that's a lot.
So just be engaged. I mean, that's all I can tell people. I meet new people that moved at golf course, and we talk about it, and I say, have you heard about this? Have you heard about that? Well, you need to be listening to KCHW 102.7 because a lot of these community service things come through there, and that's a service that's provided by the radio station. Or you need to go on the websites, or you need to read The Independent. I mean, somebody told me the other day, well, I don't know if I want to get a newspaper. They're pretty expensive. And I goes, The Independent is the best opportunity in Eastern Washington. for what you pay for a weekly paper. It's very well written. It's got all kinds of great news. So that's a plug for the Independent, and I know that, but it's worth it.
And if you've got an event too, you want to get to us. We feed a lot off the Independence calendar because you've got a great calendar going on, and we feed off a lot about that. But we can take your messages too through our website at kchw.org. There's a contact form on the Contact Us page, and you can submit your event, even a flyer for the event, and then Michelle takes them and works them into a little community calendar that we do before the news at 12:30 and 5:30. So that's just another way to get your stuff in there, and we check that. It puts a little note in our mailbox that says we've got a new message, and then we kind of prioritize them by date. If we've got a bunch of them going on.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't KCHW going live tomorrow night during First Thursdays?
Thank you for bringing that up. That's right. We're going to be down there. The girls are going to be down there, and we are going to be as well. It's our fall membership drive, so we're soliciting donations. We have light up mugs that say Northern Lights Public Radio. And it's pretty cool. And if you get a membership or renew a membership while supplies last, you can get yourself a light up mug. So the gals will be down there. I'm not sure if they're putting up a tent. I suppose it depends on the weather. But they're going to be down there, and they're going to be really close to Forrest, where Forrest is unveiling his dad's lost piece of artwork. And he's got to bring it in on a trailer, so it's a big one. So, and you can catch up with the girls, get a membership, renew a membership. That keeps public radio alive. Memberships are 50% of our budget, along with the messages you hear at the top and the bottom of the hour that say this hour's programming made possible by a donation from those businesses that get named, and these memberships that we get from the membership drive are what keep us on the air, as well as soliciting grants too, because broadcast equipment, very expensive. All the DJs that work, and there's a side note there. We're going to be doing it. This is really sad too. We've had several of our DJs pass away. I'm trying to say that without crying. And we'll be doing a new run of DJs. So if you're interested in being on the air, those are not paid positions because, to be honest, they are just way too much fun. You're not going to care that you're not getting paid because it's a good time. Right. Ask Philip. Ask Tom Walters. Ask Doug McQuain. It's a fun time. We don't pay the DJs, but we have one paid position, and that just started when I moved, and that's Michelle. And we need to keep Michelle because without a manager, we don't have a radio station. There needs to be somebody in control of it, and that's a big job. It needed to be paid. I was hoping after 5 years the radio station would have a whole staff, but that hasn't materialized of paid people, and creating those jobs in the community. But support of the public radio station will lead to more jobs there too. It helps us grow. So if you've got it, and I mean, you can, if you're a senior citizen or a student, retired military, you can get a membership for as little as $20. I think our top level membership is $102.70 for 102.7. And we will not say no if you want to donate more, and people have,
Right.
So.
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. I mean, and isn't Kat Brooks going to be there with her Northern Lights?
That was thank you. That's the next part I was leading into, and tying this all together with the light up mugs is the wonderful Kat Brooks, or you might know her as KS Brooks, and she has been posting, and she's really gotten into shooting pictures of the Northern Lights, and we're going to have some of her art on display as well, and I believe she's going to be there, and you can visit with her, and I'm really glad that she's letting us tie in our Northern Lights Public Radio with her Northern Lights art. It's very cool. So thank you, Kat. Yep. All right. And you can catch up with them all tomorrow night during the Art Walk right on the streets. It'll be real easy. Get out, like Mike says. Enjoy what the town has to offer. Swing by the KCHW booth and show your support. It'd be awesome.
All righty.
All right. And I get the thrill. I get to kind of be there because I'm going to run. It's really weird that I can run the equipment in Chihuahua from Maine, but I can.
And Scott normally goes to bed like at 7
Yeah.
o'clock.
It's quite the function to do these. I'll be staying up late because I'm 3 hours ahead. But it's really quite the process. I run 2 computers out of my studio here in Maine to run 2 computers back at the studios in Chewelah. So it's, when we're late getting on the air or when things go, we've never, I shouldn't say it because it hasn't happened yet, but since I started doing this now over 6 months ago, we've never lost a connection in the middle of the broadcast, which could be very, very possible. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, but sometimes we're a little late and 4 computers and one of them's got to glitch out every now and then.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
But,
technology. You gotta love it.
Yeah. All right. So hopefully you can take part in the Thursday Art Walk and come by and see us. So thank you for bringing it up, Mike.
You bet. You bet.
Did you have anything else?
Oh, no, I think that's, I think we're down to the end of my list. I'm sure something will pop into my feeble brain.
All right.
That,
All right.
yeah, I think we're in good shape. I mean, as far as that goes, just a lot, it's getting towards the end of the year. So from a creative district standpoint, we're trying to pull things together, and get that taken care of. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we were awarded a grant from the Washington State Tourism Board. And so we're in the process of working that through. And I love this grant because it's designed specifically to start new events and sustain those events in the local area and bring people to Chewelah. That was actually the requirements on the grant. So the first event coming up that we're supporting would be the City Sidewalks Christmas Fair type thing. And so it's not a lot, but it's a lot more than we had.
All right.
So,
very good. All right, well, we'll go to break. When we come back, we'll do some of that fun stuff we do. We'll educate you with a little history. We'll throw out some birthdays, and then we always wrap things up with the crazies, which is kind of fun because it makes you feel normal. It's our odd news that we wrap the show up with, and that's all coming up when we come back. If you stay right here, 102.7 KCHW. We are Northern Lights Public Radio.
It's 8:24.
Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from Paul Mayer's Flowery Trail Cafe. The Flowery Trail Coffee House has changed hands. The new cafe still features familiar drive-through and coffee options, but also has added new breakfast items like biscuits and gravy, chorizo burritos, French toast, gluten-free pancakes, and more. The Flowery Trail Cafe strives to use as many locally sourced ingredients as possible and has a variety of healthy food options too. They're open Monday, Tuesday, and Friday from 6 to 2, Saturday from 7 to 3, Sundays from 8 to 3, and they're closed on Wednesday and Thursday. For more information, you can call them at 509-936-9140. Visit them at 6 West Webster Avenue in Chewelah or online at flowerytrailcafe.com. Your KCHW morning show made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing Brothers specializes in auto services, including repair, maintenance, and detailing. They also stock a full selection of tires, make glass repairs, offer towing, and have an auto sales lot on the corner of Highway 395 and Main Street at the light. For more information, you can visit the Auto Service Center at 806 East Main in Chewelah. Find them online at godfearingbrothers.com or by phone at 509-935-6414. KCHW FM thanks God-Fearing Brothers for supporting public radio in Stevens County.
This is KCHW, Chewelah, 102.7 FM.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, November the 2nd, 2022. I'm Mike Clifford. Only days remain before the midterm election, and so far, Texas voter turnout has been what you might call lackluster.
As of Sunday, Tarrant County turnout was 20% lower than the same time in 2018 and 33% lower in Dallas County, according to the Texas Secretary of State's voting data. Ian Walker with the nonpartisan Brennan Center for Justice fears some voters could be losing confidence in the election process because of conspiracy theories about fraud.
We're getting to a place where the losers will automatically say it wasn't fair and they didn't really lose and it was just fraud. And democracy really depends on people accepting the results and having a peaceful transfer of power.
Democrats hope the Texas ban on abortion that excludes exceptions for rape or incest would drive their voters to the polls, while Republicans have focused on the economy to rally voters. I'm Roz Brown.
The Lone Star State has historically recorded low voter turnout. Despite a double-digit percentage point increase in the 2018 election, the state still lagged behind the national average, trailing all but 10 states. That's according to the United States Elections Project. And California will be building out a huge network of electric vehicle chargers over the next few years. Efforts are now underway to train thousands.
What do they put in these things anyway?
Sugar-enriched flour, partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, polysorbate.
Even the vegetables don't like him. Even the vegetables don't like him.
Papa, they're throwing fruit and vegetables at me again.
Keep singing.
No, carnivores have all the fun.
One minute you're young, hip, and carefree. And the next minute you're photographing vegetables in your garden.
You like that?
I love that one.
All right, coming back down the line here.
Okay.
Points out that screening for depression increases the chance of getting treatment. If you or someone you know are experiencing a mental health crisis, call or text the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nadia Rumlagan reporting.
And for some Minnesota small businesses, it's been harder to recover fully from major events of the past 2 years.
Minnesota's in its latest phase of the Main Street Economic Revitalization Program established last year. One partner in distributing funding is the St. Paul and Minnesota Foundation, with a key focus on commercial corridors in the East Metro affected by the pandemic, civil unrest, and other challenges.
He tried to swipe a sandwich, too.
Neighborhood Development Company says business owners of color have especially struggled.
A lot of those lifelines that were put out to businesses during the pandemic, like PPP loans, they really were able to help a lot of businesses, but micro businesses, black-owned businesses, those programs were still pretty tough to access.
I'm Mike Moen.
Finally, Catherine Colley lets us know that open enrollment for health insurance under Cover ME Gov starts today.
In previous years, people who could get health coverage through their employer were deemed ineligible to get it through the insurance marketplace, regardless of the cost to add family members to the employer's plan.
All right,
Helen
quiet on the
Roy
set.
with the nonprofit Consumers for Affordable Health Care says that glitch is now gone, so families have more affordable options.
If what they are paying to put the family on that employer plan is more than 9.12% of their total income, they will be eligible for the premium subsidies.
Eliminating the family glitch is just one change in this year's open enrollment. Roy says Consumers for Affordable Health Care can help people find a plan and check on their eligibility for subsidies online at maincahc.org.
This is Mike Clifford for Public News Service, member and listener supported on radio stations big and small, your favorite podcast platform, and find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
KCHW 102.7. We make it so easy to listen to Northern Lights Public Radio. Of course, in your car, online through our websites at kchw.org or northernlightspublicradio.com. We're on your smartphone, too. Use the Radio Deck or TuneIn app. And now we're even on Amazon. If you've got the new Amazon Echo with the Alexa app, just say, Alexa, play KCHW, and boom, you're there. We're mixing it up. Old school radio or new modern technology. It's always KCHW 102.7.
And we're back. It's KCHW 102.7. Mike, you got some kudos online. It says, thanks again for bringing all the tons of cool info. All right? There you go.
Well, I appreciate that. Thanks.
All right. We'll give you a round of applause on everything. Yay. All right. Let's take a look at celebrity birthdays for today. Let's see. Stephanie Powers, Heart to Heart, turning 80 today.
That makes me feel old.
Wow.
I remember that. It used to be one of my favorite television shows.
I had a huge crush on her. I had no idea. She's a pretty woman.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize she was 80.
Yeah. David Schwimmer turning 56, and TV personality Carmelo Brown at 42. A little bit of history. Let's go to the old guy.
Thanks a lot. Okay, well, in 1895, the first gasoline-powered race was held in the United States. First prize, $2,000. That's got to be like $1 million prize.
Oh,
today.
yeah. Huge.
I'm thinking, whoa. Okay, in 1920, KDKA of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, started broadcasting to the first commercial radio station, soon followed by KCHW 102.7.
Whoop, whoop.
No. Oh, okay. The first broadcast was the results of the U.S. presidential election.
Very cool.
Very cool. Yeah. Okay. All right. In 1959, after being struck in the face with a puck, goalkeepers Jacques Plante returned to play wearing a protective mask for the first time in professional play. I can't even imagine being a goalie and playing hockey without a mask. Can you?
Yeah, what was that, like a real V8 moment? I could wear a mask. That wouldn't have hurt so bad.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, you look at the number of them that lost teeth with a mask. Can you imagine prior to masks?
Yeah. We're missing the boat.
Okay. All right. Well, in 1983, U.S. President Ronald Reagan signed a bill creating Martin Luther King Day.
I remember that.
So do I, actually. And then in 2000, the first crew arrived at the International Space Station.
I wonder what they think looking down at all of us ants.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's go into Wisconsin. This one, actually, it sounds like it sounds like a bad story, but it's not.
Okay.
Okay. All right. In Wisconsin, 2 planes carrying 9 skydivers collided in midair.
Does sound scary.
That wouldn't. However, the skydivers used their parachutes to steer themselves clear of the debris, and the 2 pilots survived with minor injuries.
Wow.
So that's kind of a feel-good story if you think about it.
It is.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, then in 2016, the Chicago Cubs won their first World Series in 108 years after defeating the Cleveland Indians 8-7 in Game 7 in Cleveland. Okay, all right. Now this one just screams Scott. Okay, Baby Shark by Pink Fong became the most watched video on YouTube with over 7.04 billion views.
Huh. I never heard of that before, so I'm guessing it's like maybe a K-pop song.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
All right, on to special events. Today, it sounds spooky. It's All Souls Day. It sounds like maybe some... do you know what All Souls Day is? Just out of curiosity. It sounds like something to do with maybe leftover Halloween or something like that.
Halloween, yeah, I think it is.
It is not.
Kind of like the Day of the Dead follow-up type thing.
No, it's a day of prayer and remembrance for the faithfully departed, observed by Roman Catholics and other Christians on November 2nd, All Souls Day.
All right.
I got to finally educate Mike on something. Wow.
You did?
Yeah. Look at that. I feel so smart. I had to look it up, though, so I don't feel very smart.
Okay.
All right. It is Cookie Monster today. Me want cookie.
We want cookie. Followed by the ironic.
Yes. Eat Smart Day, which does not go along with Cookie Day. Not at all. Has anyone ever made a healthy cookie?
You can buy Oreos now that are healthy.
Really?
Gluten-free Oreos. Did you know that?
I don't think that probably makes them healthy, but okay. It just makes them gluten-free.
Oh, okay. Oh, now you just burst my balloon.
Sorry, but go ahead. Eat up, buddy.
Okay.
International Stress Awareness Day. If you know that you have stress, you're halfway there.
That's true.
Yeah, there's no help. We just want you to be aware that you have stress. All right. It's a deviled egg day. The evil deviled egg.
It's one of my favorites. Do you like deviled eggs?
No, the smell to me is putrid, and I love eggs, but they gotta be cooked.
Oh,
and
well, these are cooked.
No, it doesn't smell like it. Sorry, it doesn't smell cooked at all.
Loretta found a recipe that puts jalapenos in them.
Ooh,
jalapeno deviled eggs, and they are phenomenal.
Now I might try that, but so I have a problem with the hard-boiled egg, but I love eggs. Now really? I like the yolk in the center, but the white part not so much. And I don't know what they mix them with exactly, what the recipe is to make deviled eggs, but whatever it is, it makes them really smell bad.
I think they use a lot of vinegar.
They just don't smell right, and
really
so that's where my problem comes from them. If I could probably tolerate it, but I can't get by the smell.
Okay.
All right. Plan your epitaph day. What would you like on your tombstone, Mike? This is a great chance to let everybody know.
I've been asked this before. It's an easy answer. He touched the lives of many, but was remembered by none.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh.
Why is that horrible?
But remembered by none. That's
humility.
That's humility. I don't know. It sounds like self-depreciation to me.
Oh, I'm gonna lay it. It's humility.
All right. Well, I'm gonna reserve the right to scratch that off, and put loved by many. Okay.
Okay. All right.
And then I'll put, he had great humility. The only thing I care about, like my tombstone, my epitaph, is I just want a really tall one. I want mine to be taller than all the other ones in the cemetery.
I can see it right now. Small in stature, but a giant of a man.
No, just a giant tombstone.
Oh, giant tombstone.
And then I wanted to say, "Ha! I'm finally tall." All right, this one's for everybody. Practice being a psychic day, which is really just guessing. So,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, right. I'll make some predictions. All right, number of the day with Mr. Mike Bentz.
Oh, man. Most of us are guilty of this. 12 million. Tons of furniture thrown out by Americans each year.
Oh, 12 million.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get it. The Midwest has this great thing, and I've talked about it on the radio before, but I could never get it to start in Chewelah. You see it every now and then, but not often enough. In particularly the state of Indiana is where I saw the most of it, is if you have anything that you might, I'm done with this piece of furniture, I could throw it away. It's kind of in rough shape. Doesn't matter. Put it out on the side of your yard right up against the sidewalk, and it disappears. It's like an unwritten rule. If there's anything in someone's yard and it's against the sidewalk, it's meant to be taken. And everybody does it. And it's great. Like if you do a yard sale and you're done and people even haven't taken the free items or whatever you had left and you don't want it anymore, you just scooch it up to the curb and it will disappear within hours. And I always thought, now, I mean, if you're going to be rude and put some, chair your cat peed on, it's probably not going to get taken, but it still might. But I just thought it was an awesome form of recycling. And that there's might be somebody out there that can use that stuff. It's got a new apartment, needs an end table and that kind of stuff. But I haven't seen it in a lot of, especially like in Washington State, you don't see it. But I always thought that was the perfect recycling kind of gimmick and a great way to get rid of stuff you don't need anymore without paying to have it hauled away.
All right. Yeah. Well, Loretta and I will basically give stuff away if people have a need for it, when that type of thing. And what's frustrating at times is we'll advertise that, and people will say, "Yeah, I'll be by tomorrow afternoon," and they never show up. That happened to us twice in the last week on something. So what I've started doing is, as I talk to people, or actually we had some people working on the house yesterday, and I finally I was talking to this guy, and he says, "Hey, do you have anybody that has a need for this? It's free. They just got to come and get it." And 100% of the time, they know somebody that has a need for that, and that type of thing. And we have a storage unit, and I had everything's free in the storage unit Saturday,
Oh, really?
And it'd be a surprising number of people would show up and say, "Now, what's the catch?" I go, "No, yeah. Well, the merchandise is free, but I'm going to charge you $500 to load it." There is no catch.
Yeah, there's a $5 door charge, but everything inside's free. Yeah. All right, let's wrap this thing up. We are looking at 8:44, and the end of the show is here.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Or at least try to sit back and enjoy the show. Wrapping it up, we kick off with the news attack. First sentence true. Second sentence, really bad joke. We're looking for a new writer. If you write punchlines, we want to talk to you. If you like to write punchlines and not get paid, we really want to talk to you.
Really want to talk to you, yeah.
All right, Mike, kick us off.
Okay, almost 15,000 Delta airline pilots voted to authorize a strike.
Okay.
What they wanted was a pay increase, better benefits, and Keurig machines in the cockpits.
That's a way to keep the pilots sober and awake.
I was watching the History Channel the other night, and they were talking about Campbell Corporation. And one of the things that Campbell tried didn't go over very well was soups and a Keurig. And they were talking about chicken noodle soup in a Keurig, and I'm thinking, okay, how do you get the noodles to that level?
Exactly.
It's
we call it, here in America, we call that broth. You Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. After rioting at the Capitol on January 6th, the Oath Keepers actually went to the Olive Garden. True story. While they were there, they stole and raided breadsticks.
The never-ending breadstick.
So bad.
Okay, well, a pediatric group recommends that babies sleep in the same room as their parents for the first year.
Okay.
They say that it makes babies thrive, and it makes parents rethink their plans for having another baby.
Population control. Yeah, I still sleep in the same room as mom and dad.
You do, huh?
Yeah, maybe that's why I can't get a date. The study says that eating vegetables may help the brain to stay young. So in other words, the more vegetables they eat you, the less likely you are to become one.
Become one.
That was horrible. Didn't say the jokes were good, did we?
No. Oh, the World Series continues, and it's November.
And drag it out.
Drag it out. Yeah, I bought super cheap tickets for the game. I paid $28 to sit in my own living room and charged myself $9.50 for the beer.
Oh, you're lucky, because I think beer's up to $14 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, and that's in Washington at an event center. So here's a guy on a house arrest in Italy who told cops he couldn't stand being at home with his wife and actually wanted to be sent to jail. Sharing a Netflix subscription with someone is so hard. This is the proof.
Okay. Halloween was this last week.
I know that, yeah.
You know that?
Yeah.
Did you have any Halloween trick-or-treaters up in the woods?
No, we're too far off the highway, and it's scary back here in the
you're
woods.
off the grid.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We didn't get any either, by the way.
Oh.
And I think it's because the Rusty Putter had a trunk or treat on Saturday afternoon. So
maybe the houses up there are spread too far apart.
And they're spread, and it's really dark. Yeah. There's no street lighting or anything else.
Okay.
So, and they're all pretty much set off of the road, kind of like you.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, so we still got a large bag of candy at my house.
Okay.
All I kept thinking is, can this stay fresh until Easter?
If you put it in the freezer, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, but then my brain goes, I know there's candy here somewhere.
Yeah, I had a big bowl of lollipops, so there you go. And no trick-or-treaters, so just saying. All right, to get a jump on other shoppers, I have hit the grocery store yesterday to gather everything I need for a Thanksgiving meal with the kids. Mm-hmm. My list was about a mile long: turkey, stuffing mix, pumpkin pie filling, and then the last thing, Pepto-Bismol.
There's a turkey shortage this year.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I don't believe it, though. That's what they said last year, and there was plenty of turkeys to go around.
Plenty of turkeys?
Yeah.
I think it's a conspiracy theory to sell ham.
Yeah. It could be. That's awesome. All right, on to the world of wacky but true. We don't add anything to these stories, but possibly a movie drop because, well, they're wacky but true. And, Mike, I think it's your turn again.
Yeah, sure. Get me start with the fireball.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, a Halloween reveler dressed as a bottle of Fireball cinnamon whiskey.
Nice.
Whoa, was arrested Monday. He was a spicy guy. Okay. Was arrested Monday night for drunken, disorderly conduct, domestic battery, and several other charges. Dominic Salazar was wearing his Fireball whiskey bottle Halloween costume when he photographed by jail personnel.
So he got a DWI, and they thought he was so cute in his whiskey bottle outfit that they photographed him. Wow. Okay, I got one.
He's an idiot. Comes from upbringing. Parents are probably idiots too.
Ow. All right. Drivers on the 405 freeway in West Los Angeles late Saturday encountered a bizarre and dangerous situation when a man in a wheelchair almost single-handed stopped freeway traffic. Video showed the man wheeling himself on the freeway at slow speeds as some cars whizzed past him. He then slowed down traffic near Santa Monica Boulevard as cars were forced to wait behind him. And at one point, he moved over to another lane. California Highway Patrol eventually arrived and took the man off of the freeway. No injuries or crashes were reported. I got a couple, I think.
Think he can drive?
Oh, he can drive. He can drive beyond the limits of the tires, the engine, the car, anything else.
Now get going! And what's your driving, you imbeciles? You want to get nabbed by the police?
No. That was actually as all of them set out from the old folks' home. That was the lady. Yeah, just picture it.
Think he can drive?
Now get going! And what's your driving, you imbeciles? You want to get nabbed by the police?
Just now I want to see a power chair parade. Sorry. All right, back to you. Quick, save me, Mike.
Okay, and there again, I get the drunk.
Yes.
Okay.
So I see a pattern developing.
I see that, exactly. The drunk guy in England who was confronted by police claimed to be movie character Jason Bourne before stripping off his shirt and swearing at the officers.
If I ever get arrested, I'm going to pretend I'm a famous person, see how that goes.
It's true.
Yeah.
I'm Danny DeVito. You can't arrest me.
When I come back to visit in February, if I get in trouble, but I'm Mike Bentz. Don't touch me. Maybe not. Let's try this.
I never want to see a naked man again.
Oh, yeah. Nobody does. All right. Robber in the UK failed and injured himself during an attempted holdup. The robber demanded money from employees at a sandwich shop. They refused, so the robber got angry and pushed their tip jar to the ground. It shattered, and as the robber left empty-handed, he stepped on a large piece of glass, which cut through his shoe and into his foot. Police caught up with him quickly. All they had to do was follow the blood, and then they saw a limping robber about a block away. Oh.
He tried to swipe a sandwich, too.
Oh, sorry. Uh-huh.
Okay, well, we're in China now. A woman in China was caught red-handed burglarizing a home for the second time. Really?
First you don't
she
succeed.
Tried to talk her way out of the what?
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Try again, yep. She tried to talk her way out of trouble by claiming she was a Japanese citizen with amnesia. She's Chinese, not Japanese, and the police quickly determined she didn't have amnesia.
Quiet! I can't have myself lie!
During a parent-teacher conference, we're staying in China, by the way. During a parent-teacher conference in China, the mom of a 17-year-old was upset that her son wouldn't stop playing with his phone in class. So during the parent-teacher meetup, the mom pulled out a pair of pliers out of her purse and took her daughter's phone and crushed it. Won't be on your phone in class anymore. Does she know there's an iPhone shortage?
I told you, no wire hangers ever!
All right. Mike.
Oh, so I'm going to go 12,000 miles away from you.
Okay.
And I'm in Germany.
Nice.
A man was driving along when he had to go to the bathroom. Sounds reasonable. So he parked his car, got out, and went to relieve himself. When he got back, his car wasn't there. He called the police to report it stolen. When the cops showed up, they figured out it hadn't been stolen. It had just rolled away. Apparently, it parked the car on the hill, and it wasn't fully in park. The car rolled down the hill and into a river.
Oops.
Oops.
That's like the time I was up at the ski hill, and I'm not the ski hill, but up at the tower site, and it was snowy, and I parked my car on top of a hill because it was level there, and I thought it'd be safe. And then I walked down the hill, and then I just happened to turn around and saw my car coming at me. and in that exact moment, you say this.
Jeez, I'm an idiot.
True story. All right. We're staying in Germany. I like how these are all clumped together. Also in Germany, elderly German man called police to tell him he found a World War II era bomb in his garden. When officers showed up, they instead found a large petrified zucchini. Oh, that's so scary. Huh?
Scary?
You are an idiot, a
Zucchinis are always curved. Wouldn't you kind of... Whatever.
Oh, the invasion of the petrified zucchini.
Exactly. All right.
Okay, we're going to stay in Europe, but we're going to go to Spain.
Excellent. We've been around the world today. This is
We've been
awesome.
around the world.
This is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, this show is very global.
Yeah.
Okay. Two grocery store workers in Spain were stacking produce when they began arguing about the right or wrong way to do their job. Another vegetable story.
It is.
Okay, words escalated into threats, and the men took their argument to the store's parking lot, where punches were thrown before a steak knife was drawn, and one of the workers was stabbed in the arm. Oh, no word on what the vegetable the men were arguing over. It had to be zucchini.
I think they just need to retire and do this.
1 minute you're young, hip, and carefree, and the next minute you're photographing vegetables in your garden.
This is a nice zucchini. All right. Big thanks. Round of applause. Mike Bentz. Thanks for showing up this morning.
Thank you.
All right. Don't forget tonight, Artist Talk, right?
Right. Artist Talk, Keith Powell, talking about the Mammoth mural and all the meaning behind it and why they did it.
And that takes place at the brewery on Main Street.
At the Courtside Brewery. I believe the doors are open at 5:30 and the talk starts at right around 6 o'clock. And I'm going to predict it'll be standing room only.
All right. Get there early. You heard it from Mike. And then we'll follow that up with a big celebration. It's our first Thursday art walk tomorrow night. And lots of art to check out. Name all the galleries. You've got them in your head.
Okay, I've got Trails End Gallery, the Spotlight Gallery, the Yale Press, and the McCunn Gallery up at Mountain Market.
You know, and Tim Nelson put this first Thursday art walk thing into motion, and it's really grown. So when you drop into the Trails End Gallery, tell Tim thank you, because he started something that's turned totally awesome and has encompassed the downtown area. And a lot of people benefit from what he started. Yeah?
And they've started their Winterfest, the 4th annual Winterfest for the Arts is starting. I'm being paged. And you can get the prospectus from that now from Trails End Gallery. Either, I believe you can go to their website or you can stop by and pick it up. And as this itself has grown phenomenally over the last 4 years. And I believe the artwork has to be in around the 1st of February. It'll be judged over a month or 2 month period of time. And then at the end of that, they have a big celebration of the various artists that have won. And the vast majority of them are what I call regional. So they're within a Spokane to Canadian border type thing.
Sure. So on Thursday night, if you are an artist and you want to enter into this year's Winterfest, that'd be a great opportunity. It's Thursday night to go into the Trails End Gallery, talk to Tim, pick up your prospectus, and get ready to enter some artwork. All right.
That's right.
All right.
And he's expanded all the mediums. So we've got photography, you've got fine art, you've got ceramics, you've got, so, and each one of them are judged separately.
All right. So paintings, sculptures, whatever you do, right?
Sculptures, yeah, whatever you do. Yeah.
All right.
And because of that, there's really some beautiful stuff that has come out of that.
All right. And then don't forget to stop by the KCHW booth, which will be in front of the Aaron Huff Memorial Center. And you have a chance to talk to Kat Brooks and look at some of her Northern Lights photography. You'll also be able to get a membership. And while supplies last, we have a new Northern Lights Public Radio Light Up mug to go along with the whole thing. And you're supporting public radio in Stevens County. So a lot of stuff going on Thursday.
Don't forget your checkbook.
There you go. And then as well on Friday and Saturday, Chihuahua Center for the Arts rolling out the Marvelous Wonderettes, 7 o'clock showtime. Last 2 performances, Friday and Saturday night at 7. So get out and enjoy. If you haven't been to our new theater and got on to support them, shame on you. I'm going to shame you right now. Go get some tickets and catch this show because it is a good one from everything that I hear. And some of these actresses that are singing were in a previous show and did an amazing job. So I can just right there, I can tell it's going to be great. So get out and enjoy a play this weekend. Right, Mike?
That's right. Exactly.
Right. And other than that, we want you to have an awesome day. Keep on listening to Northern Lights Public Radio. Tomorrow, we put on our dumb hats. It's Three Amigos Thursday with myself, Scott Allen, Alan Milani, and Chuck Ritchie. We hope you come and we hope you laugh. Have a great one. See you, Mike.
See you later. Yep.
Your KCHW Morning Show, made possible by a donation from God-Fearing Brothers Auto Center. God-Fearing